Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? I have heard the very good news lately because the United States of America has changed its policy. Of course, the Biden administration was a very wicked administration, as you know, messed up the whole world before goes to the diving, whatever it is. He's out of the show right now. The new president, has changed his policies towards Eritrea, especially. But what was the problem to begin with? How can Eritrea be condemned for running dictatorship in the country when 22 African countries are under dictatorship, let's say? 67 dictatorships in the whole world, over 70% of the world population staying under autocratic rules. How can Eritrea be specifically picked for selective punishment by the United States sanctions? Ladies and gentlemen, I found a very interesting article, and let's go.
Asmara and Addis Ababa, three rivals, one region, one fragile balance. This could be a moment for diplomacy, a chance to stabilize the Red Sea, but instead, the United States may be walking straight into a geopolitical trap. Today it stands as a flashpoint for global trade and conflict, a vital artery for the world's economy and a stage for international rivalries. Houthi rebels, backed by Iran, have transformed these waters into a battleground. Their attacks have forced commercial vessels to take the long, costly route around Africa, sending shockwaves through global supply chains and raising insurance costs for shipping companies. This chaos has created both a dangerous vacuum and a rare diplomatic opening for the United States. The instability threatens not just regional actors, but the entire global economy. For the first time in decades, Washington finds itself able to engage all the key players in the Horn of Africa at once, compelled by the urgent need to secure the Bab el-Mandeb Strait.
It's overdue, ladies and gentlemen, by isolating Eritrea from the show. While she owns the big part of the Red Sea was a big mistake by the U.S. administration. Therefore, instead of coming through Ethiopia or through other means of communication, they can directly go to the Eritreans and talk about it. Eritrea owns the sea, and if they want the sea, they got to come to Eritrea directly. The government of Eritrea had never had a problem in here, but its self-reliance policy was a big problem to the United States of America that wants to dominate the whole world. Bilateral relationship is welcome always by the Eritreans, who are probably the most peaceful country in the whole world. Let's go. We appreciate this development so much.
Choke point through which nearly 10% of global trade passes. The region is a tangled web of ancient rivalries, shifting alliances, and modern power struggles. Here, one wrong move could entangle the U.S. in conflicts that stretch far beyond its original intentions, drawing it deeper into local disputes. Yet, inaction carries its own risks. If the U.S. hesitates, it could cede this strategic waterway to adversaries like China and Russia, who are eager to expand their influence in the region and reshape the balance of power.
But the good thing, Eritrea is so independent. It's not about the United States of America and Eritrea, actually. It's Eritrea for its sovereignty, staying independent from all of them. There is no Chinese base in Eritrea. There is no Russian base in Eritrea. America just rejected the communication on bilateral level of, communication, of relationship. It caused the whole problem. Eritrea was victimized. A 34, 35-year-old young nation was just condemned to all this kind of brutality. The United States of America has to shape up a little bit now, man, to be humble a little bit. It caused a problem that caused 30 years of struggle in Eritrea, and now it cannot afford to isolate Eritrea all the way. America has to shape up. America has to come up, it says. America has to soul search.
The U.S. must navigate a landscape where every partner has its own agenda, shaped by centuries of history, deep-seated nationalism, and the scars of colonialism. Trust is fragile, and alliances can shift overnight. The opportunity is clear. Act as a stabilizer, broker peace, and build coalitions that can withstand the pressures of the modern world.
Absolutely. United States of America should lead the peace. America should definitely be the peacemaker of the whole world instead of suppressing. You understand what I'm saying? The strategy seems to be changing, and this is welcome. This is welcome.
The danger is just as real, becoming a pawn in local power games, manipulated by actors with their own ambitions and grievances. Control of the Red Sea is about more than oil tankers or shipping lanes. It's about shaping the future of global trade, security, and the rules that govern the world's most critical waterways. Recent
You cannot do that by intimidation. You cannot do that by forcing small nations to submit to you whatever orders and stuff like that. It has to be bilateral. It's a German. Every country is represented equally in the United Nations. America has to respect that. No country in this world, unless very weak government, actually can accept this kind of domination, this kind of bullism. Well, Eritreans didn't accept bullism. That's the only thing they did wrong in relation to America. Democracy is not an issue because democracy is not all over the world as such. And dictatorship as such is a system. A system, ladies and gentlemen, it's not a crime. And there is a beautiful dictatorship in Eritrea, to my understanding. That helps the people.
diplomatic activity shows Washington understands the urgency of the moment, but understanding the stakes is not the same as finding solutions in a region where every decision has unpredictable consequences. The Red Sea is now a test of American power, resolve, and wisdom, a proving ground for its ability to lead in a rapidly changing world. Here,
I would say it's just time for America to act wisely, wisdom instead of force, wisdom, and instead of power of the fist, negotiations, sitting down, understanding the pain of the Eritrean people, understanding it because everybody resents American prejudice against the Eritreans. Okay, through Ethiopia, Eritreans are not going to change. They cannot change themselves through other forces. America can go directly to them and negotiate some kind of peaceful deal. You understand what I'm saying? Therefore, this move is beautiful. I hope it will go on positively. It will come into a conclusion of some kind of positive output. We will see. But this crime has strangulated Eritreans for a long time, and it has stopped them from progressing forward, from making their society a legitimate society in terms of food, resources, industries, and all this kind of thing. Sanctioning Eritrea is a shame for America. Sanctioning Eritrea was just really belittling yourself because America is supposed to be the monitor of the world, ladies and gentlemen. Therefore, we welcome this, and I hope it will continue. And thank you, Mr. Trump, at least in this occasion, at least in this situation.
grand strategy collides with the messy reality of a volatile world, and every choice will echo far beyond these troubled waters.
Oh, these are the people who messed up American policies, ladies and gentlemen. The last administration, Biden administration. These were the people that came to society trying to create some kind of problems, to gain American interest through the violence created by America between the people of these Africans. You understand what I'm saying? This didn't work. It didn't work. I'm glad Biden is out. It's a new beginning now. We're looking forward, ladies and gentlemen. We cannot go back to the same cyclic failure. You understand what I'm saying? This was the problem. This was the problem, definitely.
For years, U.S. diplomacy in the Horn of Africa was fragmented, each relationship managed in isolation, with little coordination or strategic vision for the region.
America cannot kneel down the Eritreans through Ethiopia. It cannot.
As a whole, the U.S. dealt with Ethiopia, Egypt, and Eritrea separately, often responding to crises rather than shaping events. But the Houthi crisis in the Red Sea has forced a dramatic rethink. Now Washington is bringing these historic rivals into the same conversation for the first time in years. Washington is now pursuing what some call a triple play.
Opening much, Mr. President, I think you have excelled the last few presidents in America in this situation, in this condition. In this condition, I'm talking about in relation to the region, in relation to the Eritrean people. Thank you.
Direct lines with Cairo, Addis Ababa, and Asmara, and encouraging dialogue between them. This marks a radical shift in strategy, recognizing that the stability of the Red Sea is inseparable from the politics and ambitions of the countries that border it. The U.S. aims to leverage its influence to create a new regional security framework, offering incentives for cooperation and making clear there will be penalties for those who obstruct progress. This isn't about forging friendships.
Well, here, Joe, listen, your mom is good, but you cannot just punish people because they oppose the policies. There could be some problems between the Eritrean government and the American government. Negotiation is the only way out. Bilateral relationship, one-to-one basis, because Eritreans cannot obscure the interest of Americans in the Red Sea. We're peaceful. We have kept the seas very peacefully. You don't need Ethiopians to come to the Eritreans, ladies and gentlemen. America doesn't need Ethiopia to come to us, to Eritreans. It can come directly to the Eritreans, like what it is doing. So I think this is a very positive development. I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. And I thank the American Embassy, consulate, whatever, in Asmara for accentuating this beautiful development. And we'll see. We'll see forward.
Or alliances, it's about pragmatic alignment, where interests overlap just enough to make cooperation possible. Egypt, for example, is determined to contain Ethiopia's regional ambitions and protect its own interests along the Nile. Ethiopia, meanwhile, is seeking secure access to the sea.
No, Ethiopia has secure access to the sea. It's the law. Eritreans cannot stop it. They cannot stop it, ladies and gentlemen, because access to the sea for Ethiopia is an existential right secured by the UN. Okay, check this out. Especially Article 125, access of landlocked states to and from the sea and freedom of, transit. Article 25. Ethiopia is pretending as if it has a problem with the Eritreans. Eritreans never tried to stop the Ethiopians from using the ports, and they cannot do it legally. But Ethiopia has to recognize the ports of Eritrea. They have to make it peacefully. They cannot brag. They cannot just force us to let them use our ports. In that situation, the United Nations law requires that Eritrea can defend itself by rejecting any kind of deal with Ethiopians. There is not any talk about ports with Ethiopians, ladies and gentlemen, but only to cut a deal, to make a business. With this, I close my argument that America has improved its relationships. It has become white vis-a-vis the East Africans in the Horn and the Red Sea, vis-a-vis the Eritreans and the Ethiopians. America doesn't have to come indirectly through Ethiopia through wars. It has tried everything, and it's time now for soul searching and for trying to make a very peaceful bilateral relationship with Eritrea. Let's say, Japan, we're going to come back. We're going to come back. This is a good development. We're going to push for it. We're going to encourage every loving America, every peace-loving America to do this, to be behind this deal, to encourage the United States government into making a peace deal with the Eritreans, because 34 years of friction didn't work. It didn't produce any result for both countries. And the Eritreans have no reason to deny the Americans the kind of peace and business that they're looking for, as long as they're not looking for base in Asmara or in Eritrea, because Eritrea, I don't think Eritrea is ready to give its bases to anybody, to China, Russia, or America. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you next show. And please support. I want to show you my new media, please, my English media. I like to do it right here, man. And now, Eritrea here and now, meaning the kind of positive contributions Eritrea can do to the whole world in terms of peace. Because I'm convinced that Eritrea is probably the most peaceful country in the whole world. We may not have enough food. We may not have a lot of things, but we got abundant peace. and unity in Eritrea, ladies and gentlemen, in this uh, complicated world. We give what we don't have, and we take what we have. Maybe I don't know. What we give what we have, and we take what we don't have. So Eritreans can deliver peace. Eritreans can deliver stability. Eritreans can deliver love. And so what I'm saying, it's a land where you don't see a lot of crimes in Eritrea, no matter how they put it into. They can call it South Korea, North Korea, Germany, whatever. Eritrea is by itself. Eritrea ain't no similarity in here. I told you there are many dictatorships around the world. Eritrean government may be classified as dictatorship, but it is normal. Okay, and we're seeing a lot of problems in the West too, but in democratic countries. A lot of mess, a lot of homelessness, a lot of betrayal, a lot of shootings, killings. So Eritreans couldn't have been the only government basically to abuse human rights as such. There has no country or nation in history that hasn't, to some extent, abused some people or had prisoners. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's not exaggerate it. Let's come to the point. Let's go to the basics. America cannot continue killing the Eritreans through sanctions. Ladies and gentlemen, let's just throw that thing out. And let's all contribute to the peaceful cooperation between the two countries. And I will see you in the next show. Peace. Like I told you, this is the channel that you have to go to. You will see this video in that channel, ladies and gentlemen. Instead of me creating English, whatever, videos, but I have to continue doing this until you know for sure that you will get my videos in English in this channel. Peace.